Greetings. Well, the last few months have been insane. Listeners will know that I not only uprooted and relocated to a different state altogether, but I also suffered a back injury the night before we were supposed to leave. As I traveled on my back, wincing with every bump in the road, I realized I needed a break. I needed some self-care, and I needed to take the time to allow myself to feel the somatic, to feel my mental health, and to feel my physical. But we made it. And after we settled into our beautiful new home, I found myself holding strong to my current magical praxis, but not really allowing new forms or ideas, especially ones that come up within this podcast. I mean, it is the reason why I do this. However, this was not totally unlike the spiritual burnout you'll hear from seekers near and far. You see, I needed a sabbatical within the present, one that really needed my head here and now, leaving the psychic pitter-patter of the ethereal realm and digging my proverbial toes in the dirt, which meant I needed to remind and reconstitute my intentions with woo, with art, and for sure as fuck with living. For a while, I was a conduit of heavy ego death and supreme revelation, and it just wasn't serviceable at this time. So take this as a call to arms for all folks dipping into the ratitudes when it comes to magic and spirituality. It's okay to take a break, especially if the seek starts getting snide, weird, and estranged from the search. I began allowing other practitioners' intentions to cloud mine in some weird parapsychic hex that I finally resolved to be bogus and petulant. I needed to stumble on that myself, thus I needed a break. So I apologize for losing myself for a little bit, for taking over a month and a half off from posting, and I appreciate you being back with me. I am, for all intents and purposes, back on the hunt. I found my anchors, the wonderful things that keep this somatic reality bearable, and I'm ready to dip back into the stratosphere. Again, I think it's important to note, fellow practitioners, new and old, it's always a humbling revelation to understand the law of correspondence. As above, so below, it's said. It's important to give self-care in the minutia as it is in the majestic. I started this podcast to be a better person and to connect. I started We the Hallowed, the art collective, to be better and to connect, one ego death at a time. I've always appreciated podcasters, writers, artists to be honest about their bouts with mental health or the sullied struggles with the material world. Not unlike my cathartic depression podcast with friends and fellow seekers Eric Millar and Alex Bolin, I needed to vex the hex with a friend and podcaster, Mr. Grimsteak of the Rock is Good Time Cruisin' with Steak. Initially, we had chatted about doing an addiction-specific episode to really dig into the nitty-gritty of our rough pasts. But you know what? We need hope, and hope is abound. We needed to chat about our intentions for this quote-unquote new year, our wants and our beauties that are currently present. From Jerry Cthulhu of Nox Mente's recent dire medical scare and the magical community coming together via social media and supporting his amazing comeback, which he is back, to our brilliant relationships and magic's aid in fortifying them, to a culture's guru culture and our little bits of naysay. We get real, we get hopeful, and we find our magic, but we also criticize it. And I think that's healthy, especially within this realm. The more I know about any of this shit, and I think this is very apparent, the less I know. And I'm excited to know less and less. So if you're struggling, reach out. Let us help each other find our footing. All of this will be here when you need it. It will never cease to be. And that said, weirdos, witches, here's my candid discussion. Our sloppy, fun, and drunk discussion. Our celebratory discussion of hope of 2020 and the good things that come from the bad with Mr. Grimsteak. Well, good. How are you, man?
Dude, I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good, man. It's been a weird year, but yeah, I'm
Yeah,
definitely
has
coming
been
out
a
the other
weird
end.
year.
I just want to say I listened to the Jerry comeback episode. I almost cried.
Oh my God, dude, that was such an emotional episode. Like that wasn't even podcast, and that was just like, hey, we're gonna have friends on, and everybody's just gonna love each other, and just
It was
that's all it
beautiful.
was.
Yeah,
Thank you.
no, I
Man, that's
really
awesome.
really appreciated it. I was like, yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Like, I need more compassion in my life, especially when it
Hmm.
comes to this sort of thing. So it was just so good to hear, and it's so good to hear he's doing okay. And like
Yeah, man.
that was scary for a second there.
Dude, it was real scary. I mean, it was just like one day, like he's heading up to Chicago and for Thanksgiving, and like I was gonna see him and shit, and then he texts me, he's like, yeah, man, I'm not feeling good, like I'm hyperventilating, I'm gonna head home. And he was in like Tennessee by then.
Oh
And
shit.
then I was like, yeah, I was like, we'll get home, get to a doctor or whatever. And then next day he's like, yeah, I'm getting admitted. And then it was
Oh
spiral, like
wow.
things just got worse after that. It was just a lot of health issues that all just hit him at once.
Yeah, it's
But
intense. I
yeah,
mean,
man, he's
I've
just,
only known him for a short while, but it was like I felt it. I felt like the community come through. I felt
oh my God, dude.
yeah,
It
it was
was
just
it was
brilliant.
insane. The amount of like intention groups and just like high magic that was going on for Jerry was insane.
Yeah.
Like all the troops were activated.
It
It
was
was nuts.
totally moving, and that like
Uh-huh.
yeah, I don't know. It's just like one of those good for the heart kind of
Yeah. Well, just that
situations.
just goes to show, because I mean, when we're online and we're looking around, all it is, you see so much shit. Like shit on Twitter, people fighting at each other's throats, Like everybody's just arguing, nobody's getting along, and then you see a community like this, like it's just nothing but helping each other, good vibes. Dude, it's
Oh
I
yeah.
love it. I love it. I love
I
the
got
community
into
that we've built around here. Like
it's brilliant. I'm like lucky to even be peripheral in it, but like I got into Twitter later, so I kind of had all my bad juju with Facebook and all the other social media shit
right.
like out of the way. So I feel like I kind of came to it in an honest like I know what
Hmm.
this is. I can talk to friends, and like it's helped me connect with a lot of people. So I feel like for the first time I actually have a good relationship with the social media
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
enterprise, and it's
Yeah.
Twitter, funny enough, because all you
Yeah.
hear is
Well,
about
yeah, dude. Exactly. I
yeah,
totally agree with you. Yeah, I mean, it took me fucking 35 years of my life just to get healthy adult relationships, and they're all online. Like it's insane.
dude, that's so funny. So we've been wanting to talk for a while about wanting to have. I did an episode with my friend Alex Boland and
Hmm.
Eric Miller about depression, and it was like so cathartic and good to talk to you. And I know me and you have been talking about doing one kind of based around addiction,
Hmm.
right? But like as I were inching closer towards the new year, I started thinking like, and it sounds like what's going on in your life is beautiful. There's a lot of good shit happening. I was like, maybe we should just talk about intentions for 2020,
Hell yes.
And one of them for me, like the huge one, is like I got to get better with relationships.
Yeah.
And I'm not just talking about, I'm in a great place with a interpersonal, like romance relationship, but I
Right
just
on.
mean like just with friends. Like I need
Yeah.
to be better at this,
Hmm. It gets hard, man. Especially like when you get older, you have so much shit going on, and then
Yeah.
just when people making plans and having obligations. It's like other than the guys online, like I don't have any friends anymore. Like all my
Right.
friends have just disappeared over the years. They've all either moved away, had kids, got married, just disappeared. Just everything just kind of fades, or like, or it comes to a point where it's like, I need to get out of this type of lifestyle. So you lose that group of
Oh
friends, and
yeah.
that's all. That was a big part of it for me. It's just like I can't be around this shit anymore. Like I'm sorry, like
It's so
it
funny,
sucks.
like thinking about, addiction, thinking about these things that we struggle with and how really it kind of boils down to the interpersonal relationships you have,
Hmm.
with people and how healthy you are with it, or even like allowing time to just move people away, you know,
Yes,
like
yes.
yeah, it's weird. I don't know. Maybe it's like abandonment issues I had since I was a kid, but I'm always the one that kind of jumps ship first.
I get that, man. I understand. Well, I mean, you feel it out. And that's the thing. Like, people change. That's the only thing that's actually constant in this world is change. Like,
Yeah.
everybody changes all the time. It just happens. That's why I think marriage is the most insane thing anybody could ever do in their life. It's insane. Like, why would you ever
Yeah.
get married? Like, you don't need that contract with somebody. You could spend the rest of your life with them and be devoted to them and don't need that crazy social anxiety and fucking
Yeah,
contract with the state. It's
weird
insane.
like social capital. Yeah. No, you're
Yeah,
right.
man.
I mean, I've known couples that are brilliant that like got married about, the interest and excitement of watching somebody change.
Mm-hmm.
Not just like, oh, I'm falling in love with you because of who you were or who I want you to be, but like you're just fucking constantly surprising me, and I dig that.
Yeah,
You know?
definitely. Well, yeah, dude, that's the thing. If you could grow with somebody and change together and just you find somebody that you vibe with, like
Yeah.
just you can just get along with on every level. Like that's a hard thing to find.
Well, speaking of which, like I just saw you posted on Twitter about doing some sigil work, and like now you're in this
Mm,
awesome relationship.
dude.
And like to me that struck a chord. I was like, we need to talk now.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
that's I
it's
I know how that goes. Like when all the intentions kind of follow through.
it's crazy because it's like I'm living like a cliched romantic comedy right now in my life.
Dude,
It's
me
like it's
too.
fucking it's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
I
But
know exactly how you feel.
yeah, man, like I got out of a really long-term relationship, like
Hmm.
fucking 10 years. I was with a girl and I left and kind of spiraled, just sort of just kind of got into myself. I
Yeah.
didn't really, just get a little pretty depressed. Didn't realize the depression, but and that's when I started the podcast and things just started getting a little better and met
Yeah.
everybody. And then and yeah, dude, just I decided that I don't want to just settle for a relationship again because I find that a lot of times that like I've gotten into relationships, it's like, okay, this isn't bad. Like there's this wrong, this wrong, this wrong, but I think I could work on this. I could do this because relationships are supposed to be work. You got
Oh
to you got
yeah.
to do that shit. And then it's like I'm like, why should they be work? Like you should just fucking love doing it. Like why should you have to work for it?
Yeah,
So
love the process. Yeah.
yeah, so I mean, it's really I just kind of gave up on it, and then it was
Ah,
this. Well, no, that wasn't
I was
yet. I
gonna
didn't
say
I didn't
that's
really
like
give up
the
on it yet. No,
okay.
no, that came though.
Yeah.
But no, I was
That's
just kind of
almost the
thinking,
key.
just talking to different people, and like the girl,
Mhm.
like dude, any girl that I would talk to, I'd just be like, within 5 minutes, just be cringing on the inside, just at words, and I'm just like, no, I can't do this. So I read Chaos Protocols, summer of 2018, Braden
I was
White's
gonna
book,
ask you. Yeah.
and I was like, fuck it, man. Like he says some shit in there, like, whether you believe in magic or not, whether what happens, like people are doing it out there. It's happening everywhere. Like,
Right.
what do you have to lose? What do you have to lose? And that's
Yeah.
kind of just what I thought. So I did a sigil for rather than just like a girlfriend or something fucking like that, like real vague, like just
Hmm.
very specific traits that I wanted in a partner. Like very specific. And I went through the work, fucking activated it, got rid of it, did everything, and yeah, I was kind of thinking about it for a few months, and this was like into the spring, and I was like, yeah, whatever, And then like I kind of just kept going along, and that's when this girl, Lady Aboshi, she joins our chats,
Hmm.
and she's just kind of hanging out. And dude, I connect with her so good. We're talking about anime, like we're talking about all this shit, but there's like kind of a catch to it because like a week earlier, I was talking to this dude K Dog. He listens to the podcast, and he's telling me about this girl that he just got back with. He's like, "Yeah, man." He's like, "I dated her a while ago." He's like, "She just hit me up out of nowhere," and I was yelling at her about backsliding. And it turns out that this was Lady Avoshi. So he brought her into the chats, and dude, it's sloppy and weird, but
It's
yeah. So a
hilarious,
lot of
man.
time goes by, like I don't think anything of it because I'm just like, she's just a listener. That's cool. She's donating a show, sending emails. It's awesome,
Right.
and it's all whatever. So then CryptidCon happens, And I finally like, dude, I had such a great time at CryptidCon, like such a great fucking time just with everybody. And I came home and I'm just like, fuck this. Like, I don't need a relationship. Like, I'm completely happy alone, totally fine with this. Like,
Yep.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm good by myself. Like, I have my boys, they're fucking amazing. It's just gonna be great. And yeah, so like everything's kind of going good in my life. Like, I get a raise at work, shit's going kind of good. And then
Mhm.
out of nowhere, she just messages me on Discord and is like, "What's up? Like, what's your number? What's this? Me and K Dog broke up." Like all that, and then it's just like, it just spiraled out of fucking. It's just spiraled since then.
That's amazing.
Like,
So there's like a couple things, like you were talking about the specificity, right? Of
mhm,
the intention, which, there are people that'll say, you want to leave yourself some room. There are other people that'll say, you should be specific. You should be like
mhm,
down to the T. But my favorite part, part of the whole sigilization process, right? You were mentioning is forgetting it. And
mhm.
like the moment where you're like, I don't need this, I'm good alone. That
Yeah,
was you really forgetting it.
yeah. I took like 9 months to do it, but I mean,
Right.
it's
Yeah.
so yeah. Like that's because I did, man. I felt completely at peace. Like, no, I don't. I'm not gonna settle for some crappy relationship. I'm good where I'm at. Like, I don't need this.
Yep.
Like, I don't need it. And then yeah, the
Yeah.
absolute perfect girl just came out of nowhere. Like, literally fucking perfect. It's
Yeah.
insane the amount of shit
Yeah.
that we have in common. It is insane.
Well, congrats, man. That's fucking awesome to hear.
Thanks.
And it's so similar to my story, this recent relationship too. I got out of a long term,
Right.
found like the strength and the wherewithal to be good alone. And like right when that happened, she
Dude,
waltzes into my life.
yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Are
It's
there any
crazy.
other like so you said the chaos protocols, is that like kind of the only pragmatic type of magic you've been using for stuff like that?
That's the only magic book that I've actually read. See, I've my whole thing in the magic world.
Yes. Tell
I'm
me.
not practicing at all. Like, I don't.
Yeah.
I'm not a no. Like, I've been insanely interested in it. Listened to a
Hmm.
shitload of podcasts. Just absorbed a lot of information. I'm real shitty at studying, so I don't really read a lot of stuff. But
Yeah.
it's one of those where the information's up there. I grasp it. I respect it, and it's I'm just not good at practicing things.
Well, I mean, that's to me that's healthy though. I mean, a lot of the shit that I've been going through recently, I had to take a month and a half off just to kind of recalibrate, and not, um,
Right.
kind of climb out of all of the goofy hoopla, as it were.
Exactly. Well, you made a big
Um,
move too, didn't you?
yeah, yeah. I mean, it all coincided, so it was easy for me to take a month off or whatever. But
Yeah.
at the same time, I'll be honest, I go through times where I don't, it's not that I don't trust it, I just don't do it. I don't want to do it.
Right.
I don't want to practice, or I have habits, like spiritual habits, that I guess kind
Hmm.
of make it so that I continually do. But sometimes I'm just like, no, I need to feel this material realm, I need to feel the like pragmatic side of shit
Right.
more. Like this stuff is getting in my way for a second,
Yeah.
you know. So I totally get that. I think that's just a healthy thing for anything, especially
Right.
in this a culture or whatever you want
A
to call it.
culture. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it gets dark and weird with guru
Yeah.
type,
Ah, dude, and sometimes the egos, man. The egos
That's
turn me
that's
off. It
really
totally
getting me.
turns me
Yeah.
off. Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's why it's just like, I I'm at this point now where I mean, there's probably real occultists that are listening. It's just gonna call me a complete idiot, but
Ah.
I'm just saying, like, you know, there's so many protocols, so many different ways for people to either practice or
Mhm.
talk to this other realm, speak to it through prayer, through meditation, through
Yeah.
just so it's in when it all comes down to it, it's all the same thing. It's just,
Hmm.
I think it's like, it's basically just being able to focus your intent and your will
Yeah.
in a way that the universe is going to pick up on. And I mean, it's whether and those religious aspects maybe help people focus better because it's almost something to give them a point to look at,
Yeah.
where I mean, so it's just like, just I don't know,
That's
be a good
that's
person.
exactly. I mean,
Just
like,
focus your shit. Like, I don't
yeah,
know.
they're gonna be occultists that hear me talk about it and be like, "Oh, fuck you," uh, because I mean, at times, yeah, like I'll subscribe. I'll feel something. I'll feel more of like the metaphysical realm. I'll feel more about, the different tundras and ideas like happening outside of, just psychological tricks, you
Right.
know? But the base standard for me and why it makes so much sense is that they are psychological tricks, like
Mm-hmm.
at the very least, you
Yeah.
know?
Well, that's
And they work.
that's the baseline. It's
Yeah.
all mind. It's all mind and human and intention. Like that's what it all boils down to. It. So it's like whether you're drawing circles and scrying runes onto something, or whether you're have your head in the sand praying to something. I don't know.
Right.
Like it's just it feels like it's all the same.
Yeah, writing a song, whatever.
Yeah, just anything, man. Doing a
Yeah,
podcast
yeah,
every week.
exactly.
Every week, Cruise of Mistakes like a hypersigil. Just put my energy into it. I never
No,
listen to it again. Like just
absolutely. Yeah, I
throw
get
it
that.
out
And you
there.
guys do live too, right?
Dude, honestly, that's been the best thing. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's having a schedule where every Tuesday night, you know that we're gonna be there at 8 Central, like gonna be live. Like building that community, people show up every week. It's amazing. It's
Yeah.
so much fun. It's completely changed the show. Because it's like we started out just interviewing people, regular, just interview podcasts. And it's like, I like hanging out with my friends and seeing what their perspectives are and just shooting the shit and building a community.
Oh man, it's so refreshing. It's so refreshing to hear too, because you guys have such an open, like, palette for stuff. You know what I mean? It's not like you're listening to just people kind of, bro down about their Tuesday or whatever. It's like
No.
you're getting, everything from cryptids and,
Cryptids to QAnon to ironic
yeah,
racism. It all happens in the
exactly.
same show.
And it's all natural. It doesn't feel
Yes.
forced, you know.
That's what it
And
is,
it's
man. We
appreciative.
just
I think the human ear like picks up on that. I think they get the casualness of it, and that's why it's so fun to listen to.
man,
So
thanks. I
it's like
really
you're in the
appreciate that.
room, you know?
Yeah. That's what we go for. Just to hang out. Because I mean, it's like cruising with steak. I modeled it. Those are some of the best times when I was younger, where just me and my buddies cruising around, just fucking smoking weed, making songs, having laughs and
Yeah.
shit. Like it was the best. So it's like it's kind of what the show is. Like we're just all getting fucked up, just having fun for a couple hours. It is what it
Yeah, I've
is.
had to sincerely kind of recalibrate I think what my purpose or what my intentions are with this podcast or podcasting in general. I think the reason why I needed the break too is I was getting too lost in kind of the uh how do I put this? Like, I don't know, too concerned about the optics or like metrics or
Right.
dumb shit like that. And it's like it's not for really anybody else. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not trying to be the I would hate to be the premier occult podcast,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like I don't want that. I'm just learning. I can't afford to go back to college.
Mm-hmm.
So this is my way to like glean,
Yeah.
the good
Well,
stuff
that's the
from
thing, man.
people.
That's the coolest thing when you have this. 9 times out of 10, anybody you reach out to that you want to talk to, like they got a book or something, they're gonna say yes and come on.
Oh yeah.
Like
Everyone
that's
wants to talk. Yeah.
so. I mean, even if what you're doing, like you're doing it for yourself. In the end,
Yeah.
that's how I look at Cruise and Mistake. Like I'm doing it for me because I love it. Like
Yeah,
so who
totally.
cares if anybody even listens? That's what I've always said from the beginning.
Have
It's
you
just
ever
it's
felt that?
fun.
Have you ever been because you guys were part of the Grimerica community, right?
Oh yeah, if you want to
Beginning?
call it that. I mean, we're
Mhm.
basically a Grimerica spinoff. Like
Okay.
we met in their chat room, and that's where me and James met. So we
Oh,
formed
cool.
there, and yeah, I mean they have like Darren pays for radio network like Grimerica FM, but
Right.
there's nothing on it. Like there's just the same shows have been recycling on it for the past year because nobody updates anything. But yeah, we go live on
Right.
there, and they go live on there, and that's about it.
I guess my question too was like, just as other being in a network of fellow podcasters, do you ever feel, or did you ever? You probably don't now, like a weird competition or
Never.
competitiveness or no? Cool.
No,
Yeah.
that's just not in my nature. 'Cause I mean, that's just let them.
Right.
If anybody did start succeeding, I'd congratulate the shit out of them. Like I
Yeah.
just that's how it is. Like no,
I
man,
feel you.
this podcast, this is a hobby, and I think James probably gets triggered or upset at me sometimes. Like he's like, hey, dude, let's do like a Patreon or something. I'm like, I don't really want to do that. I was like, we're just.
Yeah. I
It's like
appreciate that.
no, man, everything we do is free,
You
no
guys would
ads.
deserve it, but I
Yeah,
appreciate that. Let's not bring any expectation into this. from other
No,
people? Yeah.
none at all. This is a hobby and something I do for fun. I always said from the beginning, the second this stops being fun and becomes like a job, I'm quitting. Like it's
Yeah.
done. Like, nope.
Well, I mean, that's, the reason why I asked too is like that was another thing about just taking this break was, and this isn't just with the occult community, even though like that's kind of where I've been feeling it the most, is that really weird competitive like nature with it. It's
Oh yeah.
gross. And
Yeah.
it's
The egos. There's too many egos. That's why I
yeah,
just kind of tuned out over there. Like
I
it's
know. Fucking secret
there's great
chiefs.
there's great information. Like I like listening to Glitch Bottle and stuff. Like those are
Oh,
some
he's
great
great. Yeah.
like Alex does amazing shows. But
He's
I mean, other
amazing.
than
Yeah.
that, it's like every now and then I'll listen to Rune Soup. But honestly, I haven't even really been listening to any podcasts lately. I've just been refining my love for music because it's
Yeah. I
just been
love
tuned
that.
out for too long. It's like I've
Yeah, I
just
was
been
in
on
the
a
same.
4 year binge of podcasts. Like I've just been to college of just a garbage college. Like and it's like I just gotta tune out for a little bit. It's
You get a
nice.
podcast for a diploma. Yeah.
Hmm.
But yeah, and like it's funny, Nish and I met in person going to that um well, I busked, like played music outside of the Gordon White
Oh,
like
that As Above?
convention thing. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's awesome.
I like I couldn't afford to go in.
Oh yeah, dude. Come on. That's nuts.
Like, all right, yeah, but I got to meet Nish beforehand and stuff, and that to me that was another like eye-opening experience. There was
How
a lot of
magical is Nish in person? Like
oh, she's
what's that
incredible.
aura and
Yeah.
energy? It had to
Oh,
just
she's
knock you out.
incredible. I mean,
Oh god,
yeah,
I love
just
her so much.
enthralling. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, she's incredible. Um, I mean, that made the whole thing worthwhile.
Oh,
Like I
definitely.
sat on like a fucking guitar case and played, guitar and sang, and it was just atrocious. Like
I'm
like
sure it was great.
things were out of tune. I forgot to pick, so I was using a matchbook. But like the things that you would like lose sleep over at night, going, God, I'm so embarrassed, was like, no, that it made it all worth it because
Yeah.
I got to hang out with people beforehand. But why I brought that up was like, I think it's that realm. I don't know. I'm trying to be very like, trying to be coy about it because I don't want to be too judgmental, you know.
See,
But
there's
like,
where me and you are different because I'll be
yeah,
judgmental as shit.
yeah,
It's all
I'm
right.
trying not to be. There, but yeah, there was just honestly a weird vibe when it came to like a cult of personality, you
Hmm.
know, around those
Yeah,
folks,
I know
and
what you,
it,
dude. It's the Rune Soup group. The Rune
yes,
Soupers they are a tight knit community.
yes, they are.
I was in Rune Soup Plus for I signed up for 3 months, did a little bit of the coursework,
Hmm.
and it was too much for me. Like they're serious. Like, and
Yeah,
I'm not that knowledgeable or researched. Like I just like learning about some weird shit, man. Like it's
it's funny. Like I was part of like Magic.me when it like first started with Jason
Mhm.
Louv. And
Yeah,
what that has turned into reminds me a lot of that, but it's much greater
I can
scale.
imagine.
Um, and that was my thing, was you had people that are so willing and dying to believe in something that works, and someone
Yeah.
telling them this shit works, and they
Oh.
put all of their faith and money, and then this person telling them that, and it was just like, I don't know, I don't feel good about this.
No, no. Anybody that says this works or I have the answers, I'm instantly skeptical of. You have to
Yeah.
be. It's like, no. And I don't think anybody really knows shit on this earth. We're all just swirling around trying to figure it
Well,
out.
that's my rub. I'm sitting here, I'm like, the more grimoires I read, the more shit I practice, the more like luminaries I talk to about this shit, the less I fucking know every time.
Yes.
Like
Well,
I have
it's
no
made to confuse you. It's built
yeah,
to
it just
confuse you. That's what it
it
is.
gets worse. I'm like, how are people making money thinking they know this shit? Like the more I know about it, the less I know, you know?
Just masterful grifters. We can't
Yeah,
all be Jason Louvs. Come
I know,
on.
right? I mean,
Mm.
good for him. I'm like trying to
Yeah.
I talk to my buddy every day about it, who's he's an artist and a practitioner. We just kind of chat just about like this doesn't feel good, I don't know, it's just like one of those things where you're starting to see it kind of in other people going, wait a second, this is a little weird, you know
Uh,
and but yeah, that all kind of accumulated like right when I moved to Denver, and I had like just decided I need to remember why I do this, you know
mm-hmm. What took you to
but
Denver?
so my girlfriend's starting like an outdoor school here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting. And then I freelance, so I'm good with
Oh, so you
working
could just
anywhere.
go
So,
anywhere.
she
Man,
was like, "Do you want to go?" I was like, "Yeah, fuck yeah, let's go."
dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Man,
No, it's been great. It was a little rough in the beginning. I don't know if you know this, but like I slipped a disc the
what?
night before we were supposed to move. I slipped a disc an hour before I was supposed to play a goodbye show in Portland.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. No, it
Man,
was,
what happened?
and
Lifting
so
couches?
no, it was basically like packing and moving for the week before that, and then like lifting amps and stuff for the show to
Oh
finally
man.
just, I mean, just what a comedy of errors, It was so
Yeah.
fucking, I was like, you can't write this shit. It's so embarrassing. And they're like, she had to text the venue and like my friends who were on tour that I set the show up with, and he's on his back wincing right now. He can't do anything.
Oh
It
God.
was super humbling. And then so we had to postpone the move, and we moved. I gave myself like a week and a half, and I basically laid in the back of the van on the drive out here. It's
Jeez.
been gnarly. It's been a crazy end of 2019, but I really
Yeah.
feel like it's my back starting to feel better. Like
Oh yeah,
things are just
2020 is
kind
gonna
of
be a great.
falling into
It's
place now.
uh-huh. You're gonna
But
be the number
Jesus
one occult
Christ.
podcast.
Yeah, right.
I mean, that's
Dude,
it's all
they'd hate
happening.
me. I'm waiting for that like PRAGMAGIK Reddit where everyone just complains.
Yeah. Oh, it's gonna be
Who
this
the
one. You had
fuck is this
Grimsteak
drug
on.
addict? Yeah.
You had Grimsteak on, so you're ruined now. They're gonna say, "Why'd you
Oh
get this
no, man.
homophobic piece of shit on?" I think I heard him say
Oh,
gay
do you
once.
do you get that shit? I know
Oh,
you
I
do the
got that.
hate mail segment.
The what?
Segment.
Oh no, all of our hate mail is just real
Just
ironic,
jokes, right?
loving hate mail.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
but no, the one time we were on a culture with on Ryan Peverly's show, it was one of his Raw
Hmm.
episodes, and I said something like I was like, "Oh, that's fucking gay," or I said something like that, and he got some long message about how he should be ashamed for having homophobes on his show and all this stuff.
Yikes.
And I'm just
Yeah.
like, "Oh hell yeah!" I'm like, I like
I'm
that.
hoping I'm hoping that, I don't know. I really can't speak to the like outrage culture with that, but I'm hoping it's leveling out where now they understand the intention behind the use of words like that,
Dude, I mean,
where
I
it's
don't know.
more
I don't think
ironic and
so.
funny, and yeah.
Oh, well, dude, things haven't you haven't been able to do ironic comedy since like for a decade now. It's just been ruined. But
I
you know,
mean,
it's all right.
yeah.
It's all whatever. You
Yeah,
can really
right. What
do
are you gonna
whatever you
do?
want. It's like
It's true.
that's why Cruising with Steak isn't trying to be monetized. So I could do
Well, that's
anything
the
I want
thing.
on that show.
I hear a lot of people, complaining about the state of comedy and all that, but I'm like, you can still listen to all these people. There's other mediums for them to do it. So what? They're
Yes.
not being picked up for an NBC sitcom? Like,
Yep,
fuck
exactly.
NBC. Like, I don't.
Yep. Oh yeah, dude, that's all just dying anyway. Everything's just
Yeah,
gonna be just individual. And I think YouTube's on its way out too. It's
I
slowly
heard.
becoming like the new NBC AB. Like it's becoming a new network. Like everything, there's all these new terms of services. I mean, I don't use YouTube for anything. Jerry puts our show on his channel, but most of the time it gets
Yeah,
taken down for copyright strikes or something because we do something there. But
I
it's
got
yeah.
struck by my own fucking song. Like
What?
the company that the record label that put the album out that I was using like for the theme music and shit gave me a copyright strike. I was like, I wrote
Jeez.
the song.
Oh man.
Just sloppy. I
Yeah.
was trying to get, I love the idea, like I've always wanted to get into the video casting thing, and I'm trying to do it or maneuver in, but yeah, it just seems like YouTube's like past its prime
Mm-hmm.
on that.
Yeah. What's the one that everybody's using now? Like BitChute or
BitChute or whatever.
something. Yeah. I
Yeah.
just feel like that's just a breeding ground for a bunch of groypers and Pepe
R-
frogs. So that's
Yeah,
all it
exactly.
is.
That's what I was
You
gonna
know,
say. Yeah.
it's like I don't really
Bunch
want to
of
hear about how
sticks,
much you
hex,
guys
and
hate the
hammers,
Jews.
six, six,
Yeah,
six. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it's
Yeah, exactly. It's like 4chan video.
Oh, yes, yes. And
Yeah.
that stuff I just that's the stuff that makes me pissed because all the sort of curious conspiracy stuff is like kind of lumped into,
So
it gets
yeah.
thrown in there. Like you get called a racist or just anything like alt-right. You can't
Do you
even say
think that?
anything anymore. It's nuts.
I think it's because they lump in a lot of the like political conspiratorial things to the quote unquote Jewish question. I
Oh,
think that's
all of it.
yeah. I think that's why. Which is it's racist.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
because you're
but
talking about a race who's bad.
but I mean, but let's be serious now. Who's really running Hollywood?
Right. Yeah.
Jokes
But
to
I
them.
mean, like I talk about this a lot because the occult community also has a huge overlap of
Uh-huh.
kind of alt right.
Well, I started in the conspiracy UFO world and I found myself in the occult world. Like there's
Right.
all this.
Yeah.
It's all connected because when you start looking at the weird and the other, everything starts to look the same. Like it's
Yeah.
just it's all the same because like when you dive into UFOs enough, you start learning about the story of like Aleister Crowley summoning Lamb and Lamb looks like a gray or
Sure.
something, and then you're like,
Mhm.
what's this all about? Then you start learning about Crowley and then you go deeper and then you're just fucking
Jack
doing high magic
Parsons
and
and
shit. Yeah,
yeah.
Jack. You just
NASA.
it's almost it's weird, and I've seen so many people go down the same path like that. Just like
I think it.
start
Yeah.
like there's some design, there's some sort of template that people just get attached to and then follow it. I blame it on YouTube and
Right.
smartphones. YouTube University. That's
Yeah.
what's fucked so many people
Exactly.
up.
Oh my God. Yeah. But it reminds me, it's like yeah, with the credentials too of a conspiracy theorist here. It's a lot like the occult. Like there's no fucking diploma
No,
for this.
no,
You know what I
no.
mean?
You
Like
it's just
you
who can be an armchair researcher the hardest.
exactly. Yeah. Yeah. But my thing is like with a lot with anything is like the blanket people that are like, I believe in, the moon landing was fake, but I believe in aliens and I believe in ghosts and also vampires. You know what I mean? Just like it's like
Yep.
anything that's out of in the preternatural, like supernatural, it's like fair game. And I'm like, you gotta pick and choose.
You have to. You have to. Well, you can't. You like be open minded, but don't fucking let your
Right.
brain fall out. Like pay attention to this shit.
Well, it's like, and I hate to keep bringing it up, but like in the occult community, it's like I hear all this shit, like, oh, I'm an astrologer and into it, and fucking, like I also, I'm in the OTO, but also it's just like Jesus, man, pick a club.
Well, that's the
I
biggest
don't
thing
mean
too.
that. I
Is
don't.
people. Well, no, but people they want to find they want to find their path. Like that's what
Yeah.
people strive for. They want to have some sort of identity to latch onto, and you know, I mean,
Well,
I chose
everyone's
the
an
life of a
astrologer and
podcaster.
a
Yeah.
yeah. Everyone's an astrologer and a tarot reader now.
Oh, everybody.
Apparently,
Definitely, man.
yeah.
You can go on Twitter right now and find a million people who will read your fucking tarot or just
Hmm.
give you your chart. It's everywhere.
Which I definitely appreciate to a degree. Once again, I'm like
Yeah.
trying not to sound bitter about it, but I think that's just kind of where I am with this stuff. Is I'm having to be more discerning about
Mm-hmm.
the people that I give like credence to. And there's something about, the passionate, quiet ones in a way,
All right.
you know?
Nish
But
is
yeah.
my go-to. If I have any question
Oh,
about
yeah,
anything, I
she's
just
great.
immediately
Yeah.
go to Nish. She's the most magical witch I know.
No, absolutely. Yeah, she was talking about, I don't want to blow it up. Well, she was talking about doing some sort of podcast or something. So I was like, oh, yeah,
Be
do it.
amazing.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I didn't announce that or anything. That's not.
There's no announcements.
Well, because I actually asked her, I was like, well, I'm going to talk with Grim. You should pop in if you're available. And she said that we were her favorites and that she
Oh,
was too busy doing something
yeah.
in
Nish is busy.
Portland.
She's a busy lady.
Yeah. Yeah. All good hedge witches are.
Yes, they are. Definitely. Man.
So
So man,
what is 2020 looking like for you? You got,
2020.
it seems like you and like me, shit picked up at the end.
Yeah, shit really picked up beginning of November, like end of October. And if everything goes to plan, by the end of 2020, I should be in Philadelphia. And that's pretty much my only goal right now. Is
Is
just to
that where
make
she
it out
is?
to, yeah, yeah. And because I have nothing really going on here. I mean, I just work every day. Like I could just up and go. I'm in a very liminal state right now, where
Yeah.
I could just up and phew, be gone. So I'm just gonna get some
I,
shit taken care of here and figure things out, and that's my intention. We'll see what happens. I mean, this could all
yeah.
just
It's
also blow up
exciting.
in a big ball of fire for me. I mean,
Right.
I don't have that feeling at all, but it's also there. Like I'm aware of it. But I have a great community around me that'll lift me up if I get destroyed.
Absolutely.
Like
Well, it's also,
I'm
yeah,
aware
it's
of I'm
healthy to
aware.
be
And dude, I got to
pleasantly
take this
surprised,
chance.
you know?
I got to take this
Yes.
chance because it's like I would rather everything just go up in flames and be terrible and at least give it a try than to live my life with regret and not give this a shot.
Amen.
So
Yeah.
that's kind of where I'm at right now, where it's just like fuck it,
So
take a chance, do it.
you said that there's nothing really in Indiana. What brought you out there to begin with?
Oh,
Is this where
this
you
is
grew
just
up?
where yeah,
Yeah.
where I grew up. Yeah, yeah.
I mean, Indiana to Philadelphia is going to be pretty exciting,
Oh, dude, I
I
can't wait.
imagine.
Yeah, fuck it,
But
man.
yeah, I'm with you.
Risks and chances. Let's try it out.
At the end of Portland, like, I guess the big risk was I did have a lot of good stuff going on, but all of that shit paled in comparison. It paled in comparison to an adventure with
Uh huh.
somebody I love and trying something. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So what if it fucks
Exactly.
up? I can always go back.
Exactly. Yes. Yes. Yep. Fuck
Yeah.
it, man. Try it. We're in our 30s. Let's give it a shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Because it is like well, what this has made me realize was that I don't think I've ever actually liked any relationship I've ever been in, or like actually been in love with anybody. Because dude,
Yeah.
like it's just like I only thought these feelings came from drugs. Like honestly, it's fucking
Yeah.
crazy, dude. I've felt like literally high on drugs and drunk as shit for like the past month and a half. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. I mean, I've been stoned, but that doesn't count.
Right.
Like real drugs, I'm talking about.
Yeah,
The real
totally.
drugs. Like weed and alcohol don't count.
No.
It's,
Well, that's
uh,
that's incredible to hear. I want to talk more about that because you mentioning that, and then us, like, I've been meditating a lot about, when I was talking about relationships, and a lot of the problem relationships I had were due to drugs,
mm-hmm.
honestly, in the past and shit, but maybe that's what I was searching for. Now that I basically have something like that, I don't need that.
Yes, this is an epiphany that I had during this entire thing because I always thought that the relationships were shitty because of drugs. But then then it dawned on me that the only reason I was turning to drugs were because the relationships were so shitty. Like I had no joy in the relationships, so I needed
Yeah.
something to bring me like that high. Cause it's
Yeah.
like I don't know, I like it's just weird, man. Cause it is.
It's
It's
a real,
like
I mean,
it's
drugs is, yeah, I always talk about,
drugs.
certain
Like
drugs
my drugs
are
were fucking
ex-girlfriends
pills.
of mine,
Like
you know.
Vicodins, oxys, opiates.
Yeah.
I was bad on opiates for years.
Yeah.
And yeah, dude, like and then it's when I finally actually kicked them, it took it took a while to do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, man,
No,
like
I mean,
that's
yeah, I've
I
definitely
wouldn't
been.
wish withdrawing on anybody in the fucking world. Like
No,
that's the
worst
worst
feeling in
when
the world.
you
Yeah.
just feel fucking sick and you can't, then the depression and everything. Like
Yeah.
just and I've worked through the entire thing somehow. Kept my job, like kept going,
It's
like
Oh
it
wow,
was just
that's awesome.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Just ridiculous.
That's brilliant. Yeah, cuz like, and there's a lot of factors I meditate on all the time, especially with that. I think most of the time, granted there was a couple where the relationship was just shitty.
Hmm.
We didn't belong together, and I was filling something that no one else could help with anyway, you know.
Yeah.
But mainly it was like, um dealing with mental health through those means, like refusing medication, and
Yeah.
yet choosing medication, albeit illegal medication.
God,
Yeah.
I totally understand. Like, no, fuck you. I'm not gonna take any antidepressants or anything. Give me these
Exactly.
fucking Xanax or this Vicodin. Like, I'll be good. Yes,
Yeah.
I get that.
And so
Oh
it
my,
wasn't until like 26 or 27 where I actually sought help and I got stuff.
good
I
for you,
stumbled here and there, but like I've been off meds now for like over a year,
dude.
and
That's
it has
awesome.
been it's been interesting. There are times when I consider like, oh, maybe I should go,
Yeah.
kind of redo it, but I was definitely overprescribed. Was just the healthcare system. I was like, I don't care. Like unless I'm bleeding to death, I don't care about anything you have to say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. Well, it is. It's crazy. Oh, well, that whole industry is so corrupt. Just with the kickbacks that the doctors get for prescribing certain medicines, it's just like
Oh
they'll give
yeah.
you anything. Here, take this along with it. This will help balance that out, and then take this too. Like, it's crazy.
I mean, that's what it was. Was like it was, those were the solutions, were the pills, and it's like that's not the solution. That's a symptom of the solution, but it shouldn't be the fucking solution. And that's what it was just fucking cocktails of fucking shit, you know, that were totally scrambling my brain in other ways. I mean, I appreciate it because it like helped me calibrate in a way,
Mm-hmm.
but it wasn't until like getting off of them that I realized that like I learned how to build the faculties to kind of push forward and not dig the holes that I used to.
Right.
But it's not easy.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean,
There's still shit.
yeah, I've probably would really benefit from like a therapy session or actual medicine. I've never done that. Like my therapy has been once a year. I'll just either take acid or mushrooms and kind of just examine my shit, and then
Yeah.
that's basically all I've done. And I'm still alive right now, pretty healthy
Yeah.
minded as far as I could tell.
Hey, I believe in the
So I mean,
psychedelic
it's just
experience for mental health. The funny thing though is when I was younger, I had subletted my first room in Portland to a shroom
mhm.
dealer,
No
and
shit.
he gave me mushrooms thinking I'd sell them for money, and instead I did them like
Nice.
4 times a week for months.
Oh
Like,
man, that's not good. I've
yeah.
seen people lose their shit over that. That's not
Oh,
good.
I got so addicted to coming down. I was like, wow, real life isn't that bad. Like the trip was so bad.
Oh
I'm so
wow.
happy to be normal. Yeah, it was scary. It was weird. It's like that
Yeah.
was a fucking like ridiculous way to like give yourself adversity to overcome something, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
But
Man.
in the long run, I really do feel that it helped because it really did instill in me that like, this sober world, this like somatic shared reality is fine. It'll
Yeah.
do just fine. Yeah.
Yeah. Man. That's
Yeah.
fucking wild, dude. That is so much tripping. I couldn't imagine that.
Where you are with, booze and weed, like you've been able to kind of just moderate.
Oh fuck no. I smoke weed
No.
all day. And I drink at least probably no, I drink about 2 beers a night. Like I don't like have
Oh,
like a
that's
bunch of
not
liquor or
much.
anything.
Yeah.
No, man.
Yeah.
And then there's some nights where I just don't drink at all. So I mean it's
Right.
really
Okay. Well, then there you go. Yeah, weed
yeah,
is
the
different,
booze
man.
isn't bad, but the weed is yeah, I go hard on that.
I
Like from
I
from
think
awake till I go to bed, like I need to smoke pot.
yeah, that's the one drug I could never really get into was
Oh, you're
weed.
so lucky. I
I
wish
don't know,
God, I
man.
wish I could.
Everyone seems to be having a real fucking good time on
Yeah, oh
that
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Um,
it's one of those things where see, I think weed gets a bad rep sometimes because you if it's your first time smoking it and you smoke some really good weed, you're gonna be fucking out of your mind. So it's like, and
mhm.
then if you get that, you're like, no, 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 no. Why are people doing this every day? But to an everyday pothead, you don't get that same feeling. Like you're basically just leveling out. Like I'm just,
Centering, yeah.
just yeah. It's just like okay, I'm calmed down. My brain's thinking right. Everything's good. But
I
yeah,
believe in it. Don't get me wrong. I'd much rather,
and you're in
a
a legal
friend
state
smoke
too.
weed every minute than, drink 5 whiskeys a night. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, yeah. Dude, I can't even drink hard liquor. I'm a little bitch. I just should drink some
Yeah.
beer.
I'm in this weird phase now, speaking with addiction, like getting over all of that shit. I found like a lust for life, and it really was with legal shit. It was like getting drunk with friends again, being
Right.
like 27 and like getting shit faced and being like, "Oh, thank God, this is easy to get over," you know.
Yeah.
But like that's kind of what stayed with me. I still drink. Not as much at all as I used to. I know everyone says that, uh, but I
Well, that's
honestly
good.
like.
I mean, I don't.
I'm like, I think it's for different reasons now. I'm drinking for different reasons now.
Right.
It's
Not
not
because you need
filling
it.
a void. It's celebratory, or
Yeah.
it's like relaxing. I sound like a total addict right now.
Dude, it's cool. You're surrounded. I understand addiction. Don't worry.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah.
But
I'm.
I'm always interested in this because you like me, got over the hard shit, but didn't
Mm-hmm.
cold turkey over everything
Oh no,
necessarily.
no,
Yeah.
no, no. Because
And there's a
I've
part of
always
me that thinks,
I no, I just think that you can't sobriety. Nobody in this world should be completely sober. We're not meant to be
right.
sober, and that's just insane. That's absolutely insane. You need to be able to change your brain chemistry a little bit and look at all your issues with a different perspective. You can't be
Yeah.
sober. I just don't trust you. I'm sorry.
What's funny too is I actually talked to Jason Louv about this years ago. Because I was kind of I'm trying to rectify my past a lot and
Hmm.
thinking about like, why did I do that to myself? Why was I? And then I thought maybe it was because it's like an escapist attitude, and like you listen to Aleister Crowley, who's a fucking like just shit house
Oh yeah.
shit heel when it
Yeah.
came to like everything. And I was asking Jason Liu, what do you think about drugs when it comes to magical practice? And he flat out he said, you burn out too quick. It's not, it won't last, and that stayed with me because there's a part when it comes to the metaphysical practice and shit that you're trying
Hmm.
to reach different states of consciousness, or
Right.
trigger subconscious stuff, and drugs seem to be the highway to get there, but
Oh yeah.
you're gonna burn out, you're gonna
Yeah, you
fade.
can't smoke DMT every night just to
Right.
fucking get there. Like
No
that's not
matter
gonna
what
happen.
Joe Rogan says.
Yes, exactly. Oh yeah.
Bro
No,
joking.
and that's kind of I've always been sort of shitty at meditation, but I feel like
Right.
that's the natural way of getting there without
I mean,
drugs.
it is, yeah, that has been, everyone says that. You'll hear
Hmm.
time and time again, how do I get into this? Start meditating.
Yeah, yep,
And it's
that's the
so
number
fucking
one
true.
thing.
It's
Yeah.
universal. Yeah. It
Yeah,
has
I
helped
still
so
don't think
much.
actually know how to meditate because I don't know how to quiet my brain. But I'll sit there and pretend I'm meditating for like 15, 20 minutes, like pretend it's happening.
That's good
Like,
enough. Yeah.
like I
Yeah.
feel like maybe my brain might shut off, but no, it's not happening.
I should send you this guided meditation from a friend of mine who does like this tree of life meditation where you're
Hmm.
walking through the different circles of the Sephiroth or whatever. And it allows so much imagination in it that I find it's like good for writing,
Right.
you know? It's like
Man,
good for if I'm in a pickle trying to write something, you go to that guided meditation, you come out going, something crazier than you'd ever think, but works
that's
perfectly.
awesome. Oh yeah.
Yeah, and to me that's like the most pragmatic part about all of it. To me was documenting or being journalistic about all of these experiences with like art and shit or
Yeah.
podcasting,
Well, exactly. Well, that was one of the things that where I just see over and over again. It's like keep a journal, keep a journal, keep
Yeah,
a magical journal. Everything
exactly.
you do,
Yeah.
write it down, write it down. And that's one thing that's stressed majorly. So,
Oh man,
and I'm
my
horrible
memory's
at
for
writing
shit
things
now.
down. Wait, what happened?
My memory's for shit now. It's for
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
I have if it wasn't for journaling, like, yeah, it would be like I never existed at points. You know?
Man,
Like, to
yeah, I
me,
need
I
to
don't
take
know.
more
It's just
notes.
the process of writing something down is like it's probably another psychological trick, another like idiometer effect or something of going through the hand motion, and so it like imprints in your mind.
Well, it's
You know?
alchemy. You know, you
Right.
have you're creating this thought in your mind out of nothing, and then you're created into the put it into the physical reality. Like
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
there's magic there.
I
Everything.
mean, just like brass tacks, though. It's like,
Yeah.
if you want to learn something, you write it down, right? Because it's like
Mm-hmm.
imprinting it in your brain. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Take
need to
notes.
do it
Take
more
notes.
with, after, or talking with Niche and, Jerry and like the whole Nox Mente stuff. I kind of didn't really consider dreams so much,
Yeah.
until I started talking, with them about that deeply. But that's something I need to get into. I could really use like just a dream journal, as much as I hate to use that term.
Yeah. Well, no, I get it, man. My biggest thing is I don't. Yeah. I remember a shred of my dreams. It's because all the weed. I mean, it's just I go to
Ah,
sleep and then my eyes open up, and I guarantee that's what it is. Because
it
dreams,
affects your
it's
memory poorly.
um, I want to say no, but I 100% know it does.
Okay.
Like, yeah, there's shit that I'll just there's shit that I'm forgetting that I don't even know I forget. So we'll just put it like that. Like, there's things that I know I've probably forgotten that I don't know even happened that I've forgotten.
Yeah.
But
No, I get that.
but yeah, I mean, it's the way I've come to live my life though, and I'm
Have you
happy with it.
found your like speaking about alchemical like concoctions or creations? Have you found your chemistry yet? Like what you need to get through a day for happiness? What you need to
Mm,
eat? What you need to drink?
I think
Have you
so.
gotten there?
I mean,
Yeah,
I have a pretty regular routine, and I'm basically
you do.
I'm very happy. Yeah. Well, yeah, I
That's
mean, like I
awesome.
need coffee in the morning, and
Right.
that's pretty much it though. Like just as long as I get my coffee in the morning, I'm good with that. And I obviously need and some dabs in the morning too. Like I
Right,
just,
right.
just little things.
I'm always interested in that because I feel like your entire life you're trying to find that concoction to work and then you just rest on it. And
Right.
I feel like I still haven't found that. Of course there's coffee in the morning. There's if
Yeah.
I eat before noon, I'm fucked, kind of thing.
Right, right.
So,
Oh, exactly, man. I can't eat
these
till the
weird little
afternoon
things.
either. Yeah,
Yeah,
I cannot do that. No. That's crazy. I don't understand people that eat breakfast. It doesn't make sense. I love breakfast foods, but who eats that
exactly.
early? That's nuts.
Yeah. So I wonder too with this happiness that you have you thought about like what the ingredients are daily?
I think honestly I've just somehow I've built a world for myself with Cruising with Steak where I'm
Mm-hmm.
surrounded by people that are just caring and supportive, and it's an amazing fucking community.
So
And
community,
it's
yeah, it's a big one.
yeah, it is. Because like no matter how shitty my day is, I could go into that Discord chat, rant about it, and somebody will be there to just like
Yeah,
just say something, or or I could even just like text James or text fucking anybody. Like it's a really great network we built over there. Like it kind of
yeah.
blows my mind. And what's crazy is it's like the Grimsteak persona or whatever. It's like it's the most genuine version of myself. Like I have my work personality. You have your public persona when you're out doing things, but like
Yeah,
the who I am on that podcast is genuine me, no filters, like 100% me. So that's the most comfortable thing. Like it's awesome being able like to just be yourself and have
I love
people
that too,
like
because
you for being yourself. You're not being something fake. It's awesome.
right, but it's even better too because you're broadcasted to
Hmm.
everywhere as yourself.
Yeah.
It's not like
And then some amazing
you
girl
know,
in Philadelphia hears it and falls in love
right?
with you. It's nuts.
Yeah, yeah. When like the adverse is, people put on these masks, just to get through the day or whatever, or I mean
Yeah.
to do creative things. You know, they put on these
Yeah.
masks to like on social media or whatever,
Right. Yep.
so that the
Exactly.
most of the world can see what they
Mm-hmm.
want. But the fact that you find that freedom in the adverse is like perfect.
Yeah, man, just be myself, because that's the only way I'd be
Yeah.
able to talk on a podcast for 2 hours a night, is if I could just be 100% myself. If I had to keep
Yeah.
up some kind of gimmick or bit, that'd be ridiculous.
God, and like it's so apparent when you hear people with those gimmicks or
Mhm. Oh,
bits.
you could tell the fake people, or the
Yeah.
the people that are just putting on the show, like Micah Hanks. I love Micah Hanks to death. Great researcher, great author. Like he's a great guy, but you
Who's
could tell
Micah
his
Hanks?
radio personality. Radio, yeah. He used to do the Grilling Report. I think he's just a UFO alien guy. He's a
Oh,
great
okay,
guy though.
sure.
But yeah, man, like you could just, and when you talk to him, like I've talked to him on the phone before, and when you talk to him, he's not that personality. Like he's more real. But it's
Mm,
like he gets that radio mode, gets going, and it's like, yeah, you put on a good show, but you're not genuine. You know, you're not just like cutting loose. And I don't know.
yeah. Oh
I
no,
love
yeah,
podcasts where people are just genuine. Just be yourself. Don't put on that
yeah.
personality.
There's a gentle medium too, like some of the guests I've had, where you can tell after researching or reading their books or anything like that, you can tell that they've got the fucking plot points like cocked and ready to go. And so they're probably themselves, but they're safe themselves.
Yep.
You know
Yep.
what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And like that can be frustrating, especially somebody that's wanting to ask honest questions that has read the work. I know that quote. I don't need that quote. I want to know
Mm-hmm.
more about that quote.
Yeah.
You but yeah, it's a tricky slope. I find myself in this weird contradictory state where I can't do. Sometimes I can do social media, or like sometimes I can um, be fine and fun and dumb, like just kind of on the computer, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then other times I'm like, I don't want to see a computer ever again. And
Oh
so
God.
I have these weird states where I need to get back into nature, or oh shit, I guess I should, promote this thing, and it's really frustrating to me because I can't
Yeah.
find a rhythm.
Yeah, you got to get that rhythm, man. You got to,
Yeah.
you just go for some good walks, find a good
Yeah, yeah.
time. Okay, here's one thing that I've done. And this has been happening since I first joined the Grimerica chat room in 2017. I wake up every morning and my alarm goes off on my phone. So I grab my phone and I go into the chat room and I just say good morning in capital letters.
Oh,
Just
nice.
and that's all I do
Yeah.
every single morning. And it's almost like a weird little dumb ritual that I've had, but I've done it every single day. And
Yeah.
and other people, they'll pop in and say it back or whatever. It's just, it's little shit. Just to start the day like that. Like, and then that's
Yeah.
just like, okay, I'm gonna get my shit
I
going now.
guess yeah, I guess I'm learning it. Like I'm kind of new to the whole chat room, you know, situation.
Oh yeah.
And it's one of those where I'm kind of selfish with it. Like I'll chime in when I remember or think about it,
Uh-huh.
but I need to be reciprocal. I need to be uh I need to give back in it. I need to like uh
Interact.
interact. Yeah,
So you
as
interact, yeah.
much as,
Well, do you get a
everybody
lot of
else.
emails for the show? Like, do you get a lot of interaction
Yeah.
with the show?
Yeah, and I do. I'm
You
very
pretty good at responding?
personal. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
that's
good
good.
with the personal stuff. Um
Well, that right
but
there is
those are
awesome. Because, dude,
yeah, I mean,
before I had a podcast, that was one of my favorite fucking things, is reaching out to a podcaster and then
yeah,
like
I love
actually
it.
getting back to me. Like
Yeah.
it's like, even though like it's podcasting and who cares, but it's, dude, having that interaction with the host, it's awesome.
No, I love it. And like, I can't help but be humble because I don't know anything.
Hmm.
So,
Dude, I don't either. And I don't think anybody does. There's no art form to this
I
shit.
know.
It's just
That's what
like
I'm
you
trying to
do
say.
it your way. People that enjoy it will get attracted to you and they'll come to it. And
Right.
it's like, dude, it's 2.5 years we've been doing Cruising with Steak, and we've gotten
That's
zero
incredible.
trolls. Zero
I
trolls,
was
like
just going to
140
ask you.
episodes.
Yeah.
No, we don't get trolled. We get our ironic hate mail, and that's about it.
All
Like
right.
we don't like, I think our Discord maybe has 3 bans, in it, and it's been up
Mm-hmm.
for years, and it's just, and most of them are bots. Like it's just,
Oh,
it's
nice.
no, dude.
I
We
got
don't get trolls. We put good vibes out, and just hope
yeah.
that the right people find
I,
it. What were you saying before I left there? What do I got planned for what? You had something going on.
oh, just like the rest of the year for the end of the decade.
Oh shit. Just work. I mean, really, just I have nothing coming up. I mean, what do we got?
Can
2
I
weeks
ask?
left.
What do you do? You don't have to tell me specifically, but what is it that you're doing
I work. I
for your day
work.
job?
I work at a grocery store as a meat department manager, and
Fuck yeah.
I'm a butcher. I cut a lot of meat. So I'm sorry, all you vegetarians and vegans. I'm part of big fucking farm,
Conglomerate meat. Yeah.
big agriculture. Just
I
bullshit.
love it. That's a trade, man. That's a trade. I
It
I
is.
really appreciate that. Yeah.
It is a
I've
trade.
been speaking of like intentions for next year, it's like I really got to hone down my myriad of skills and probably learn something that people need.
Yeah, yeah, maybe. I mean,
Yeah.
but what are people gonna need? I mean, who knows? Things could change.
Electricity.
Everything changes. Yeah. You
Yeah.
know what I was really thinking of? A crematorium, because
I
everybody
love that.
dies. Everybody
Everybody,
dies.
it's very true. Yeah.
You are always gonna have
Always
business
in
for that.
business.
And then what you do, I also heard this pretty sweet thing that this crematorium in California did, where they put like power turbines in their furnaces in the stacks. So as they're burning bodies, they're getting energy generated from that. So it's like free electric they're getting.
What the fuck? That's a brilliant idea. It's almost
Exactly.
as good as like the biodegradable that goes into trees or whatever. That
Yeah.
you can
Well, dude,
use
there's
you
so
can
much
use the
shit you can
bodies.
do.
Yeah.
There's so much shit you can do to just
Yeah.
that's like on my ultimate
Isn't
dream. Just have
isn't
like
crematorium though? Isn't that like really bad for the environment or whatever? Isn't
yeah, isn't I
the
mean, well,
burning?
no, you're
I
just
mean, not
burning
if they're
bodies.
generating electricity. Yeah. I don't
Well, I
know.
mean, yeah, but are you burning any kind of toxic chemical with the body? Because I think you could just burn bodies all day and it should be fine for the atmosphere.
That's
Like
true.
I
Yeah.
don't think it'd mess it up too bad.
I'm one of those guys like just dig a ditch and put my naked ass in there.
Yeah, I
You
kind of
know
want a
what I
Viking
mean?
funeral though. A Viking funeral would be sweet. Put me on a boat and push me into a lake on fire. It'd be
I love
awesome.
it. We gave one of my ex-girlfriend's lizards died and we gave it a Viking funeral
Mm,
and
that's
shot
perfect.
arrows, flaming arrows at it back in the day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It
Oh,
was
that's
epic.
great, man. So, what do you think
But
about
yeah.
death, Keats? You want to talk about death?
Do I want to talk about
If you
death?
don't want to, that's fine.
No, of course.
It's
I always want to, actually. I'm just trying to think, like, because I've been thinking about this a lot. I mean, it's pretty prescient because, not to like co-opt Jerry's experience or anything, but just something that like left field and fleeting,
Mm-hmm.
and that shit happening.
3% chance. He had a 3% chance of survival, and he fucking
That's
made it.
insane, man.
It's insane.
Yeah. I mean,
Insane.
I often joke that I'll probably live forever because it's like the opposite of what I want to have
Yes,
happen.
exactly. I get that.
But yeah, it's funny because I talked to Jerry and Nish about this, and he's talking about how, like, inherently it's like whether you agree with this or not scientifically, it is an evolution, right? It's an
Mm-hmm.
evolution of your consciousness or what you are, who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Do I think that this identity like exists outside of this realm? Does this consciousness keep going? Not necessarily. I think like that's the beauty of this shared somatic reality, is that these identities are temporary and this is all we got.
Right.
But I do
Yeah.
believe a piece of us or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
whatever, you can even get into like the Carl Sagan, type stardust.
Yes, we're all stardust, man. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep. I mean,
Same
it is.
atoms or whatever.
Yep, we're
Yeah.
all the same shit, just swirling around.
But I think about this a lot too. I obviously I think about this a lot. Funny enough, there was a friend who I hadn't seen in like 10 years, and the first question she asked me, she goes, "Are you still obsessed with death?"
Oh, that's great.
It's like, no, yes.
Oh, man. Yes.
Um, well, it's
That's
like,
good to be
I mean,
known for that. That's
it's
awesome.
it's it's the great equalizer, right? There's nothing more
Oh,
fascinating.
it's the yes, exactly. Exactly. It happens to every single person. Every single person.
And no one knows what the fuck
No,
happened.
it's the
Yeah.
biggest mystery. It's fucking awesome. I love it.
Yeah. We were
I
talking
love it.
about when we were doing our art collective, We the Hallowed, we were like, it was part tongue in cheek, but came up with kind of like religious texts for it, you know? And we had something called the three constants. And the first one was, no one knows what the fuck happens when you die.
Yeah,
You know?
it's true.
That's like
Yep.
a
But it
universal
happens
truth,
to
you know?
everybody. Yes, it happens to
Yeah.
everyone, but nobody knows.
It's fascinating though, because I think there's something to be said about people's experiences with it. I mean, Jerry, you know, just listening to that and like how beautiful that was
Mm-hmm.
and intense. But you know, you hear the whole gamut of like different
Yep.
experiences, different
People hearing the rings of
things.
Saturn and shit. Just crazy stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And you know, I trust people's experiences more than I trust them. I think, you know what I mean, when it comes to
Yep.
them talking about like what happens. And I really do feel like people have these, and like you can even talk about, you know, the DMT or whatever that's released when you die. You know, there's
Yeah.
a whole, you can science your way out of it in a way. But to me, that feels like eternity. Like your last thought would be forever, wouldn't it?
Oh man.
So imagine like you,
Your
in the
last
way in
thought would
which
be
you die, if you're in fear or if you feel good, like that'll kind of
oh. Well, that's
determine
kind of what they say
the
about some
afterlife,
ghosts
right?
and shit, like screen memories and shit that get implanted
Right,
or
right.
like imprinted on the environment. Like, yeah,
I love that.
okay.
I dig that because I like the idea of reverberation. Like I like the
Yeah.
idea of we exist in these wooden walls that all used to be living things,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Oh,
and
we all
all of
vibrate.
the
There's just vibrations
yeah,
everywhere that's going on. I mean, we can't
but-
see it, but it's happening. Yeah, totally.
exactly. Well, I mean, like just the dynamics that happen within these wooden structures we call
Yeah.
homes. Like they're gonna absorb shit, you
Uh-huh.
know, and sometimes maybe it bounces back, you know.
I
I've
like that.
had I've
That's
had paranormal experiences, but you know, to be quite honest, I think I've gotten more discerning about my imagination,
right.
and I think that's part of the fun. I think that's like a weird way to keep us or keep me from actually knowing anything. It's like the older you get, the more you know distrust your
Oh
memory.
yeah. Yep.
Whatever. It's some weird built-in program to like not
Maybe.
allow you to
Well,
know. But
that also probably has to do with like the Mandela effect and all that shit going on now. Just people
sure,
not remembering stuff. Just it's a
the
mass misremembering.
mass misremembering. Yeah, I love
Uh-huh.
that, mass
I like that
misremembering.
word.
Yeah, that's good. I looked into that quite a bit. But to me, though, that has existed before, like the whole Mandela phenomenon. I remember
Right.
kids. You know, me and my girlfriend were joking the other day because she thought the Slim Jim uh, uh, motto or whatever was different than it actually is. But she
Snap
was
into a Slim Jim?
serious. Yeah, not snap. She was saying step into a Slim Jim.
Oh. Well,
I was like,
that's
why would
Mandela
you
effect.
step?
She should have made a YouTube. She should have made a YouTube video, and she should have got.
She
She would
should
have
have,
got 2 million
yeah.
views, and all these people would have remembered Step. God.
I love her. She's so stubborn about it. It's hilarious. Why would you step into a Slim Jim?
Yeah, why would you? It doesn't make
But you
sense.
know, like growing up, like so I'm saying like a lot because of drinking. We I mismember things,
Mhm.
misremembering.
I
I
totally
misremember
understand that.
things.
Yep.
Yeah. With groups of people and shared experiences all the time,
Mhm.
especially from when I was younger. I had a paranormal experience that like actually experienced with two other friends in Portland late one night. But it kind of this like folk tale of it kind of grew into this thing that I'm not entirely sure is actually
Oh, okay. So just
You know
people
what I
like
mean?
talking about the story, or the story being told
Yeah,
so many
yeah,
times got changed over
yeah,
time and stuff. Yep, I get that.
yeah. That's why I love the whole Alan Moore idea of, every your imagination is a different plane of existence, basically, and it's, you
Totally.
have all of this stuff existing, all these thoughts going, different realities in a way. So all the stories or, characters you create actually live in these weird hyper worlds and stuff, and I
Yeah.
think that's more in line than rather just the kind of ho hum ghost
Right.
experience.
Well, who's to
I
say
think
that
there's
we aren't
something more
just
about
some
that.
sort of character created by somebody in a hyper world right now that's just being imagined? I mean, we don't know.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's fucking
No,
nuts.
you're absolutely right. Yeah. And I think there's something to be said more about that. I forget what the phenomenon's called. It's not unified field, but it's something where all of the preternatural stuff, like I was talking about earlier, how you're into aliens and Sasquatch and ghosts,
Yep, yep.
but those actually exist in a unified field
Mm-hmm.
together.
Oh, dude, I told it's all the same. It's all the same
Yeah.
phenomenon. It's just the other. It's just the
Yeah.
weird, the different, just the shit that manifests beyond the veil that we can only get slips through every now and then. Like something breaks down and we can get a visualization of it or something. I don't know.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think too, to circle back to the drugs talk about that like escapist idea,
Mm-hmm.
I think that was more about nullifying it than experiencing it.
Oh, okay.
Does that make sense?
So wait, I'll find it then. Explain. No, no,
I
explain
mean,
to me.
not
I'm
not the
retarded right
not the
now.
mushrooms, not the
Oh, okay.
mushrooms, but like, opiates or
Oh,
whatever
yeah.
they were. It was more about not being privy to those ideas or
Oh,
those
okay.
experiences.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Numbing. I hate to use the term
Oh,
numbing because it's
it's a total numbing though. I mean, that's
yeah.
what it is. You're just getting high. Well, dude, the thing that God, the worst thing about just waking up in the morning, first thing in the morning, and the first thought in your head is like, how am I gonna get drugs? How am I what am I
So
gonna do right now? Like that's
yeah,
that happens so many times. Like I'm so glad that is not the first thing in my head anymore these days. Like that's
absolutely.
insane.
Well, but you hope it's something else with that. Like the
Yeah.
clarity of purpose is what I got addicted to.
Yeah, there
I
you go.
love that clarity of purpose. Like
Mm-hmm.
this is my one focus is to, you know, feel better in
Yeah.
this way. Like everything else can burn. I don't care. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so trying to transpose that into more, I don't know, interpersonal relationships and like love and quote unquote success or whatever,
Yeah.
that's like, I think that's what I was addicted to most was just clarity of purpose.
Right.
And yes, I can't believe that there was a time in my life where that's all I needed for a second,
Mm, yeah. Well, I mean, dude,
It was
that's
a
all we
short
really want
time,
in
but it was
life.
a
We
time.
just we just
Yeah.
want purpose in life. Like we want to
Yeah.
figure out why the fuck are we here? What are we doing? What's going on? Like what's the
Yeah.
reason for all this?
What happens when we die?
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, that's probably that's an interesting question, but that's something that I'm sort of just excited about. Like death is
Right.
that's the furthest fear from me, that which makes me just more confident to take any kind of chance. Like, what's the worst thing that's gonna happen? Like, I'm gonna die. Like, I mean, really, it's
My high school friend, she told me this. We were talking about it when I was like 13, but she said, "I'm not afraid of death. I'm afraid of the pain of dying." And that stuck with
ah,
me. I think
uh,
that's why people are afraid of it. They don't want to go through the pain, like
yeah,
God forbid it's a long drawn out whatever it is, you
right.
know.
But
But
I
to
mean,
me that's
if you
that's where
compare
most of the
that,
fear comes from.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
physical, yeah. But I mean, honestly, most people have probably already experienced pain far greater than that in different
Yeah.
ways. Like,
Oh,
it's just,
absolutely. But
yeah,
to everyone, the idea of not surviving means that it
yeah.
has to be the worst pain
Yeah.
like
Well,
you've
when it
ever
couldn't at all, you
experienced,
could have
right?
like your brainstem
Exactly.
like severed or something and have no pain at
Exactly.
all
People
and
don't know. Yeah.
just be gone or just die in your sleep. Like it could
Yeah.
happen at any time. Like it could just come.
It's like
So
it's
it's
a fear of possibility. It's like a fear of exit.
mm-hmm.
How am I exiting? Am I
Yeah.
taking the elevator, or am I fucking throwing myself down the flight of stairs? Kind
Right.
of
Yep,
thing.
exactly. Well, it's more
And
of
I
a
think,
reason why you should
yeah,
just appreciate every moment you have because it could happen at any time. Like all this shit could just be done any second, just be done. You be driving to
I
work in the morning and
absolutely
bam,
agree. Yeah,
just swoop. Just like don't get frustrated about bullshit.
yeah.
It's hard. It's taken a long time for me to finally just get to this point where I'm pretty much unfazed by a lot of shit. Like I
I love
just a
that,
lot
man.
of shit
That's
just
awesome.
rolls off my shoulder. Just
Yeah, good.
I
Yeah.
life's too short.
I
Enjoy it.
I have, for the first time, I think in a long time, I don't fear so much about the creative stuff or like worry
Mm-hmm.
about doing it. It's the other stuff. It's like the shit that matters. It's
Yep.
like,
Yep.
the career and the making sure the relationship is good and like
Right.
everyone's healthy and there's no, you know what I mean? So that's been a big change in my mode, and I love it. I love that feeling,
That's awesome.
honestly.
How old are you,
You know what I
Keats?
mean? 33.
30. Okay. Right on. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay. Yeah, I'm 34. Yeah, man. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Took long
It's
enough, right?
their time. Yeah. Well, dude, we had to go through our Saturn bullshit. I mean, that's when
That's
everything
true.
hit me. Everything hit me
Yeah.
from like 28 to 31. Like my world was fucked. Just
Oh
I
yeah?
quit jobs, switched them around, I got out of a relationship after so many
Yeah.
years, like everything. Like that's when everything just started clicking in my head, like when I got like into conspiracies and just everything. Like 28 years old, my life just started getting fucked. And that's
So, I'm sorry to interrupt.
oh no, it's okay. You go ahead.
I was just gonna ask, like, you reminded me of a question when you're talking about when you're at your low and you're starting to get into conspiracies. Do you think
Hmm.
that has something to do with like paranoia, or is it something you want like control? You want an idea that you have control over um information, or you know what I mean? Like,
That's interesting.
where does
That
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 come
might be
from?
something. I've never thought of that. I mean, I've
Yeah.
always been like a weirdo. Like I loved X-Files growing up. I loved like
Oh
just
yeah.
any kind of like UFO or Nessie documentary that I saw on like Sci-Fi Channel or whatever was on. I loved Ancient Aliens when it first came out. So it's
Okay.
like it's always been one of those I've been into it, but I got like really hooked on Adderall for a few years. And
Mm-hmm.
there, when you're eating fucking a shitload of Adderall and just late in the night, just like
Oh
chain
yeah.
smoking cigarettes, going down YouTube holes, like, dude, my brain was exploding. And
Oh yeah.
then,
Yeah.
yeah, like honestly, like I probably just got off all pills altogether. Like that, I got off the Adderall probably about 2 or 3 months before I joined the Grimerica chat room. Like I finally
Whoa.
just kicked everything. So it's like I've just been pretty much no just on weed and booze since yeah to 27 the very beginning of 2017.
Well,
So
yeah, it's like you
that's
don't
like
need
my
it because you
sobriety.
found the community.
No man,
You
I
found the
found community
community.
and I
Yeah.
found people that fucking like my bullshit for some reason. And I'll
Right.
take it. Like
Also,
it's
yeah,
great.
just like thinking about the conspiratorial things or why people are so interested. I often think about that it has a lot to do with um, wanting to be a part of something.
Hmm.
Like
Oh
it's
yeah.
you feel like you're left out. You're an outsider, and everything's against
Yeah.
you.
Well, yeah, and then when you start
Fine.
seeing this
Yeah.
shit, you're like, oh, they've been lying to me this
Yeah.
entire time, and then you
Totally.
feel like you know something that other people don't know, and it gives you
Mm-hmm.
like this ego. Like it's crazy when people like you have to really put yourself in check. Like I've been down a fucking wild road with this shit. It's just
Yeah.
yeah, it's just I mean that well that
So
yeah
pretty
because I
leveled
mean
out.
there's
Like
yeah
talking to Ryan Peverly a bit, like
yeah
towards the end
Ryan's
of his
great.
culture, he, he was just talking about like he's not into it anymore. He doesn't.
Yeah.
He kind of moved through the occult thing. He was never really a practitioner, but he was somebody
What
so bloody interested and all this stuff. And then he chose to bow out because he was like,
yeah. What's
I
interesting
moved
about
past it.
Ryan same path. He was in a long-term relationship, got out of it and then just started diving deep into what the fuck's going on. Like it's dude, there's so many people I've run across in this community that about 31, 32 years old, they get out of some long-term shit because they fuck their 20s up with some relationship they didn't want to be in. And then I find them in like the Grimerica chat room or in our chat room, or just like trying to find truth. Like it's insane. Like so many
Yeah.
people like that. So it's like, dude, I mean, it's awesome. There's like a slow waking up of people out there. And it's interesting that it makes me believe in just the whole Saturn return shit. Like when Saturn comes back, you just get kicked in the fucking face and just don't know how to deal with it. Like it just throws all your bullshit back at you and you have to figure things out.
I mean, you know, I know some astrology or whatever, but I was under the assumption it was like year 26 or 27, right? That's like
Is it
when the Saturn
27?
return happened. I think so.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, that was
Well,
like the
I
big
always
thing
just
too
assume
with,
like
you know, all
anything late.
these
I kind
27
of lump it
deaths
in.
and stuff.
Yeah, I lump it in with anything like around like late 20s, early 30s. It's just kind of that.
I mean,
Because
yeah, no, I mean,
you have that
yeah,
whole year of trying to process it and like trying to figure out what the fuck's going on. Like it shakes you up.
yeah,
So it's weird how I've seen a lot of people around the same age, like between 31, like late 20s, early 30s, who just pop around and are coming out of long-term relationships or their life's just
yeah.
upside down.
We're all just still kids, man. We're just trying to
Fuck
fucking
yeah,
figure
man. We
this
don't know
shit out.
shit. We don't know shit. I know nothing. I'm probably gonna die in Philadelphia. Who cares?
Fucking
Let's try it
government
out.
failed us.
Yeah,
We got
exactly.
all the information we needed at our
No,
fingertips, and it's too
no.
much.
Oh, that's amazing though, isn't it? Anything you
Yeah.
could ever want to know is just right there. Like just Google it. It's
Well,
scary.
what's funny is like, you know, I'm a big film guy, and especially like early, you know, neo-futuristic films. The one
Mhm.
thing, like, there's no flying cars, there's no fucking robots, and blah blah blah.
Yeah, what's
The
up with
one thing
that?
they never thought about was having a fucking supercomputer in your pocket, which trumps all of that other shit.
Yes, it does. Yep.
You know,
Yep.
who needs a fucking
Absolutely.
robot? Or a
Yeah,
flying car?
and I don't think even like we don't I know personally I don't appreciate the power of the technology that I have in my pocket. Like I use it for like Twitter and email and texting.
Right, right.
Like I don't like I could be doing amazing stuff with this thing, this processing power in this, but it's just
Well, I
crazy.
mean, you are like you're tuning into a community, and it seems like you've got a great like relationship with it, and it's like really beneficial. You know?
Yeah, internet's been good to me.
Yeah,
Internet has
that's
been
awesome.
good. So I mean,
That's
yeah,
awesome.
I really technology's amazing, but it's also
This
horrible. It's the best and the
right.
worst thing in the world. Like I don't it's a love-hate relationship.
This is the contradiction I live in. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
exactly.
Where I'm like, I gotta get back to the earth, fucking go live in a teepee
Uh-huh.
in the middle of the fucking desert, and then I'm like,
Yeah.
wait, what's happening on Twitter?
Yeah. Or come on, yeah. Couldn't do that. I mean, it'd be good for a weekend, but come on, man. You know,
Yeah.
just go camping. Figure it out.
Where am I gonna
Oh,
shit post? Yeah.
exactly. You got to find your memes. You need to find the
Yeah.
memes. Uh,
Memology.
although I really want to do some backpacking in Japan. That's another 2020 goal. Maybe, yeah, I think I could maybe pull that off in 2020. Maybe 2021. Maybe maybe yeah we'll do this again next year, Keats, and I'm gonna set
Yeah,
intention
absolutely.
because dude back like
So
that's I want to go to Japan. I'm a fucking weeb. I'm just a huge weeb. Like I've slowly
was
turned Cruising with Steak into an anime podcast too.
I
We do
know,
anime
I realized.
episodes.
Was the anime recent for you?
No, I've
No, like
always been a huge
you've
fan of
always
anime.
okay, yeah, yeah.
Like but no, here's the thing though. I was huge fan like in my late teens, and then once I discovered like Girls and Pussy, I was like, oh, I can't watch anime anymore. So I kind of just like fell off it, and I became that. And then like when I came back to the like after like I got out of a relationship and everything, I was like, I fucking love anime. I'm like I'm going back to it. So
With
I
arms
just
wide open.
oh exactly, dude. Creed just started playing. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful day. And then yeah,
Yeah.
so I just embraced it, and I binge watch a shitload of anime, and I just love the Japanese. I'm just a full blown weeb. Like I can't.
No, I
I'm
dig
not
it.
ashamed of it. I throw it out there. This is my life. I'm
So
gonna throw
yeah,
my full
so
nerdiness out.
Philadelphia and Japan,
Yeah,
2020 or
yeah,
2020, 2021.
yeah. I like it.
Yeah. Do you
There's a
have
lot of
any
goals.
bigger, not bigger, like this isn't big enough, but do you have any things you want to do with the podcast, or what you're doing with
I just
Cruising
want to
with
keep
Steak, or
just keep staying going live every Tuesday night. And you know, if people
I
find
love
us,
that.
they find us and they'll join in, like just hanging out with my friends. That's pretty much all it is. So that's one thing that is a guarantee no matter what. Cruising with Steak will be live every Tuesday night. We'll be there.
That's awesome.
And if we aren't, it's because I died. 100%. Like I guarantee it. Like
I
I
dig it.
guarantee I will be there and have that show live. Rain or shine. So I mean that's
Well,
pretty much it, man.
well,
We're,
Grim, like it has been a pleasure as always.
this has been
I
awesome.
uh I really appreciate, Cruising with Steak, but I really appreciate you being like upfront about, the new love in your life and all the
Ah,
good
dude, I
stuff.
mean
I think
I've lived this podcast, this everything, I've lived my life and just put everything out there. So I'm not
I
gonna
dig
stop
that.
now.
Yeah.
Like this is where my life is. This is the people that like me will appreciate it. The people that don't like me won't tell me because I don't ever hear it. So it's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
that's my
amazing.
life.
Yeah, I mean,
Dude,
like
thanks,
my
man.
intentions are to be a better man
Oh, you're a great man,
in
Keats. Great
2020.
man. Dude, we're sideburn
Maybe.
bros. You kidding me right
Yeah,
now?
it's true. Yeah, yeah.
Come on. It's just
But also landing a new like daytime gig would be dope.
yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Well, let's set it. You're gonna get that
Yeah.
like an actual job or
It's
like
like
daytime job or
better
gig
with
or
relationships. Yeah, not freelancing, like actually finding
oh something steady.
some consistent, yeah.
Hit that 9 to 5, Grimsteak style. All right.
Yeah. Yeah. No, totally. I mean, I'm there where I would appreciate it now because I've
Yeah.
got something I want to, you know, keep happy.
Hell yeah, man. That's what I'm talking
Yeah.
about. That's why I've
Yeah.
decided to make doctor's appointments after 20 years of
Uh,
not going to a doctor's. Like I'm like, I should
yeah.
probably make sure I'm healthy, you know?
Oh
So I have
shit, I
something
got
I
to
care
do
about
that.
now. Like haven't been to a doctor in a really long time and I have good insurance. So I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Exactly. Fuck, I think I'm going to
Uh,
take a jog tomorrow. Yeah.
yeah, might even jog. Who knows? No, let's not get crazy. Come on.
No, yeah. It's
That's just
ridiculous.
nuts.
It's too.
That's nuts.
Well, Grim, it's been a pleasure, man.
Hell yeah.
I will keep you updated about when this goes up, but I really do appreciate it, dude. This was so good. I needed to. This is my first talk back from that break, and it was awesome. Just to,
That's awesome, man. Dude, I've
yeah.
had a blast. Anytime you want to talk, just let me know. We can just shoot the shit.
Let's do it.
We don't even have
I
to
got to
record.
tune
I'll
in
just
more.
hang out. Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Yes,
sweet. I
definitely.
got to tune in on what was it, Tuesdays, right?
Tuesdays, yeah. Yeah, and if you don't, it's cool. We're there every
I mean,
Tuesday. If you got free time, pop in.
I caught him every now and again. It's like the same with Nox Mente. Like, so I'll be in a place, maybe I can
Yeah.
annoy people in the chat.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, dude, I'm the same way with Oxmente. I'll pop in for like 5 minutes, give it a thumbs up, maybe listen for a little bit, and then I'm like, I'll catch it later if I want to. Before we
I'll
wrap
write
up,
like an article.
but yeah, before we wrap up, I want to give you a podcasting tip from Grimsteak. It doesn't get me listeners, so this isn't even a tip at all. But I do 0 show notes. My description is, "Hey, we talked about some cool shit," and that was about it. Like that's pretty much it. You know, people
I
don't
love
even
that.
read.
Yeah, if I was at a higher volume, I think I would absolutely be fine doing that.
Oh, I'm at an
But
insanely
now
low
it's like
volume.
I take so much time. It's like 2 a month that
No,
I'm like,
man, we
I
only
could
get like
write
200
something.
downloads an episode. Like we're at an
Oh
insanely
yeah.
low volume. Like it's
No, I mean like volume as far as output.
oh, okay. I got
Like how
more
many
episodes
episodes you're doing.
extra.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, I don't want. Yeah.
I'm with you.
Grimsteak@gmail.com.
It's there.
Ironic hate mail.
Ironic or real hate mail. I don't care.
Oh yeah,
I'll
that's
take it.
true. Just
I'll
wait.
read it with love.
Well, thanks, man.
No, thank you, Keats. Good times.
Yeah.
Good
Cheers.
times.
Appreciate
Cheers.
it. Once again, I want to thank Grimsteak for just such a wonderfully candid, vexing conversation, please listen to Cruising with Steak. Every Tuesday, it's live. You'll find all the information in the show notes. I also want to give another shout out to Jerry Cthulhu. I can't believe that he had to go through something so traumatic, and I'm really happy that he's okay. And it's awesome. Listen to Nox Mente. I know they're getting back. I'll have that also in the show notes. You can listen to the full unedited, real sloppy, but absolutely fun conversation on my Patreon, which is patreon.com/PRAGMAGICK. Also, stay on the lookout for We the Hallowed coming back after this short break. New episodes coming from Pragmagick. I've got Sarath, the motherfucking mage, coming up next. Hopefully I'll have that out before the new year. But also new contributors for We the Hallowed as we pump up the blog, the publishing, the writing, the articles. Since recording this podcast, one of my intentions was to, in this new year, was to finish writing my book. And to do that, I knew that I needed to jump into a freelance writing gig that would cause me to write and get a routine every day, drafting. And it's so funny. I ended up landing a gig as a freelance writer for a major entertainment blog that will cause me to write every day, that will get me back in the routine, that will help me fortify We the Hallowed as the occult and art blog I know it can be. So 2020 is going to be a great year. And I truly believe that, and I'm truly feeling it. I feel back, feel ready, bring it on. Anyways, as we say in We the Hallowed, haunt on.